Everybody, welcome back to the stream as we have the losers finals about to kick off, and we've been waiting for this a long time. But talk about a storyline, Kamika. Providence, what they've had to overcome to get here is just out of this world.
Yeah, it's quite ridiculous. I mean, I like to call them the 100 Thieves of the low tiers for a reason. They literally got knocked down to the losers bracket, gone all the way through it, all those extra games. They beat the team that sent them there, no less. And now here they are, contending for a spot in the grand finals. You couldn't write it any better of a story, dude, straight up. And so these guys are really good players as well. Crazy Views, Rispy, I've been casting these guys for a long time, and I'm not shocked to see them here.
I'm not shocked to see them here either. And we were talking about how many series they've had to play. This will be their 7th series of the day. That is so many maps and modes to go through. It's got to be taking a toll on their energy, right? And then coming on into Reactor9 is this is only going to be their 4th series, and they came off of a really difficult series loss. So it's going to be interesting to see who has that edge. I will say, Reactor, they were playing so well against Imperial and just fell 1 round short and 1 point short in some instances. Providence, granted, they've also had a lot of map 5s. It's kind of hard to gauge where these guys are sitting, though, at times.
Yeah, I mean, Reactor9, the way they lost that one, I'm not going to lie, it's a little bit tilting. The fact that they lost by literally 1 point, and they were saying, I literally heard him say it, we have 2 trophies, we have 2 trophies. How are we getting killed by that? And then, I mean, I don't have an answer for that. And then they lost in the final round of the Search and Destroy because they got out-intilled. A little bit of a tilter. But obviously, if you're a good player and as experienced as these guys, you have tilting matches. And you're able to bounce back from them and go into the next series as if nothing even happened.
Nothing even happened. That's the biggest thing for them. You got to shake it off. But just we saw it briefly there for the maps. You have Fortress, Mercado, Hotel, and honestly, Kamika, this is just a square up. Like, these two teams are just going to duke it out and be like, hey, we're just going to outplay you or outslay you here, and we're kicking it off on Fortress.
Yeah, having to relive, take a little bit of a trip down memory lane from the last series in this map as well as the next one as well. We'll see if we can see any improvement coming out from them as Providence having a pretty dang good start considering their history and these respawns.
And Providence have been honestly so good since the last time we saw him. And and it will be Crazy Views, the guy that you have hyped up time and time again.
Yep.
But it just feels like this team, all of their players have those moments where they pop off. And on the side of Reactor, it doesn't seem like it doesn't feel like Stunna has pop-off moments. Yeah, in the Search and Destroy, he goes clutch, but Stunna and Dez, you just don't see them lighting up the kill feed in certain moments. You're really relying on Phenom and God Bowser to have those moments.
Yeah, that's shocking to me because normally I do see him doing exactly that, but he's just been going up against some really, really good opponents and they've been shutting him down, unfortunately. Still time. There's still time for him to pop off. Weiser going to be getting a little bit taken down here. Still in a spawn blocking position is going to be Andy, but Phenom and God Bowser coming in from multiple different sides. It's going to be a little bit weird to deal with for Providence, but they're dealing with it moderately well. Crazy Views knows exactly where another one is. He knows where he's got to be holding. His teammates are looking to flip the map on their opponents. Great reaction from Crazy Views, but it's unable to keep the last 30 seconds of the hill for them.
Just didn't have enough teammate support there. It did a lot to at least mitigate some of the damage being dealt, but it is Andy, also known as the blank face, going big, not able to find another one, but Reactor9, they're on this rotation. This is going to be the gunfight that you're looking for. Wisers, though, he had already snuck his way onto the hill and causing a lot of problems for the side of Providence, but when it comes to that slay power, anybody from this roster can just step up to a next gear in Providence. You have a feeling they might be the team destined for the grand finals.
I mean, they could be. They're going toe-to-toe with their opponents right now, and they got P3 on utter lockdown with that full team wipe. Going a little bit aggro on the outside there, but he'll respawn in a position that's easily able to contest them, so that's good. Just kidding. They go to the spawn position a little bit more quickly than we probably thought, and Respy getting a little bit overloaded, overwhelmed, and over-challenged. He's going to get taken down now as well. Crazy Views just doing a little bit of a do-si-do, and around you go! And extra shots for good measure. Deservedly so. And Providence will be holding on to this one quite considerably well.
And already shooting bodies in map 1, they either feel so confident coming on in, or they have no respect for Reactor9. Says, hey, your guys' mental is checked, and we're just going to do it again. And Rispy goes big with another 2-piece. They ended up getting the scrap, and now they have, but oh, Rispy just slides right down in front of Daz. So this should be a Reactor9 holding on to the backside spawns for now on this P4, but all the pressure is still coming on in from the side of Providence.
I mean, you heard Rispy in the interview. He was talking to us about the tempo, and he had it once again for quite a little bit there. Unfortunately, it wasn't a complete and utter break on Reactor9, but that's going to come up very shortly after as well. Providence, they are going to be ripping the objective clean away from them, spawns included in Reactor9, where they could have taken a pretty solid lead over Providence. Now instead, they are going to have to do some damage control, try and mitigate this loss as much as is humanly possible without dying even more and losing control over P5 spawns.
We were talking about earlier how Providence have kind of a struggle holding on to some of these hills, and maybe it was just against Cerberus, who are such a good breaking team that they're finally starting to get that rhythm or that groove where, hey, let's have a good setup, and we don't even have to worry about trying to break onto hills ourselves. And look at the score line. It is already a 70-point lead, essentially, coming on into the Blacksmith as they are taking their time trying to wind up for this hit. It's never going to be perfect, but if you're able to take down 1 or 2 members, you're going to be put in a good spot.
Yeah, it's a pretty stellar start for Providence, but Reactor9 are looking decent on this hill in terms of a hold. They're holding it in positions where they're not easy to hit, except for when you don't have a trophy system and you're already a little bit weak. Respy's following up that kill with an aid quite nicely. And Phenom trying to keep this hill alive for his team, doing a good job, but the trading card game will be in their favor. Daz with a nice nade, though, is going to be keeping Reactor9 getting time off this hill consistently.
Oh, and that's a big kill from Andy, but still too many players from Reactor9, and you don't see this too often, that it's been a good hill on the Blacksmith. Is Daz, he goes big, finds his 3rd kill in a row. Will he expect another one? And he absolutely does now. Does he take the gunfight? Naturally, he will win it, but immediately a nade comes on through and gets the return. And after that first set, it's roughly a 22-point game and stunner. We were talking about how he doesn't necessarily light up the kill feed at certain moments, but there he finds a big 2-piece to allow his team to hop on into this P1.
Yep, great feet shots OP there for Andy, as now looking to find one on the stunner, and he'll be routed now as well. Reactor9 going to be losing control of the current objective, and they will have to chow this one out, because if they do give away all this hill time, then the next hill will just be only catch up and no benefit. So they will have to at least peel this guy off the objective. It's a little bit of a difficult, precarious balancing act, sending God Bowser in to try and get them off the time while also not losing the spawns. It can be difficult to do, but they're not doing too bad at it, if I do say so myself.
Wisers again just shooting the toes off of one of the players from Reactor, getting him off that P1 time, but not for long. He's just trying to cause a little bit of problem here in the back and not allow them to feel secure in the spawns. His Crazy Views is going to come on in with the support and really try to ego this player out. And no, he's going to play this one safe, maybe play for map positioning and allow his teammates to kind of get worked up. But if he finds this player in the back, he might get a really good chance to break it, as it will be, I believe, Andy coming on through. God gets gunned, and this should be a break coming on in from the backside of Providence. As, oh my goodness, it's getting close in the score line. Reactor right next to him.
Yep, Phenom trying to come in here and right the wrongs of his teammates, and does manage to do so. God Bowser taking a little bit of a stray nade to the face and a couple of stray bullets coming from Crazy Views as well. And so with that, Providence have netted themselves these last 20 seconds. This is going to be getting them back their lead basically from earlier. Respy coming out the door is going to run right into the gauntlet, but good trade out from Wisers. However, Reactor9 having control over these spawns is exactly the position they were in before and where they got a lot of their time. So I'm looking to see if the same is going to be true for Reactor9.
And this is so difficult to break onto the P3. We harp on it so much, is just cause problems. You don't necessarily have to find the break right away. Just strip some of that time away from the other team and at least make it manageable, as Rispy trying to be that opener, be the tip of the spear. Unfortunately, he will go down, and none other than God Bowser finding this perfect moment, and they're actually getting outslayed by quite a few kills. Maybe not by quite a few, but still, they're about to get this lead change. It shows how good the teamwork of Reactor9 is.
Yep, up and only so far though, as Crazy View's about to fly on in, does enable Rispy to get a kill there, even though it had to go through him to do it with the team kill. But either way, Reactor9 still spawning close enough and getting onto the objective enough to where they're able to stay on it, but Crazy View's still lurking and trying to get as much time as possible. But either way, Reactor9 is going to be maintaining a lead off that and a good rotation with the amount of kills they were able to get at the end of that hill.
Daz, he puts himself in a great spot. Unfortunately, to sniff out from the Bloodhound himself, it will be the side of Wisers. Again, finding those big kills to find an opening here in this P4 is currently nobody is on it. And Rispy, he goes out and challenges at the kill feed. It will light up red. So a little chance for the side of Providence to finally get this hill and fully lock it down, because they've been losing a lot of the rotational battles as of recent. It hasn't been so clean, and Rispy's going to have a lot of players to deal with. Will he find one? Not able to do so, and another break comes on in from Reactor.
Yep, Reactor9 breaking back in once again and still maintaining their lead. Wisers and these guys are going to have to try and make the most out of Rispy's push, because after he's gone, they're all gone, and that's 20 more seconds into the hands of Reactor9. And with that, they go clear of 200 points, meaning they can win off of breaks on any of these remaining hills, which is basically what they've been doing so far. It's proven to be effective. It's a really good position for them to be in. And Providence, this was not a good hill for them the last time. It can be a pretty decently difficult, hill that's hard to hold, excuse me, if you don't manage to keep control over these spawns.
And right now, they're trying to hold on. Unfortunately, one player that will be crazy gets a little too antsy, and he will poke himself out a little bit too early as he will get taken down. Stunna trying to find maybe one of these members, and he thinks Rispy has worked his way back to P2, and that doesn't seem to be the case. And oh, Rispy actually misses the shots as his teammate does clean it up. They get him out all the time, but again, Stunna is in a good spot, and he will immediately get traded on out. So finally, Providence getting a little bit more time here when it comes to this P5, and what a big gunfight as Wisers not able to do it, and that is a clean 4 down as Reactor. They can really close this game out here, especially on the P1.
They really can. Crazy View's got to go huge along with the rest of his teammates. They are going to get funneled out of this objective, and they pretty much got to expect it, but hope that they can get anything, but nothing is making itself easily apparent for them. Andy still able to get a decent kill there, and maybe with that they can break out here without getting stuck in their spawns. Easy win for Reactor9. Could still be a win for them though. Daz trying to hold it down on the objective. Rispy flying in, getting the kill, and traded out from Phenom though. Andy does get the trade out for them though, and so now Crazy Views, he's not feeling comfortable enough to get on this objective. He doesn't want to get shot up, and so he's waiting for them to take the ambitious push. And now the rest of his teammates are flooding in as well, trying to get as close as is humanly possible to Reactor9, and who are desperately trying to avoid another heartbreaker on this map.
Yeah, and you're feeling like it has the potential to be that way, but if you're Daz, just stay alive, allow your teammates to do the work for you, and that's exactly what is happening. There is no way the side of Providence was going to take that one. Reactor, they get their redemption on the Fortress.
Yeah, they are able to close that one out. Let's not forget about the last one. I mean, Reactor9, they've looked great on this map the whole time. Just some unfortunateness that caused them to lose the last time, but clearly those things were not the same this time. They built themselves back up, and they managed to beat Providence pretty decently on this one. And so now going into the search and destroy, I'm feeling pretty good about their chances to make it back to these grand finals. But I do have to say, this is another map that they struggled on and lost in the last series, and let's not forget just how good at search and destroy Providence is.
Well, I mean, they struggled on it, but it wasn't that bad. They ended up losing that first blood battle in a 6-5. So maybe they are the ones trying to come on in, and Providence probably did a little bit of homework, right? Because this is their pick. So they kind of saw the mistakes that R9 was making, and can they capitalize on it and find a lot of these first bloods? And like you said, Providence has done a great job as of recent. They have not dropped a search map since, I think, Winners Round 1. And that's been their staple. Reactor9, that was their first search loss in that map 5 round 11. So these two guys, these two teams are really squaring up here. As it will go to a hotel map 3, which again is another toss up, and then a Mercado map 4. And if we go the distance, it's another hotel. And this truly feels like both of these two teams are like, we don't care what maps we're going to pick. We are just going to bring everything they can, because remember, whoever loses, they go home empty handed. But if you win, you're at least guaranteed $700.
Pretty true. And so, doing your homework at a LAN center, I do have to say, is not that difficult. Literally, when they're the only team playing and you're still at the LAN center, you can just go over there and watch them, see what maps they do good and bad at. I guarantee you that is probably what happened and why they're picking Mercado. Like, struggled a little bit on Mercado. It's the only one they've lost today. Let's pick that one. And I think that's a really good call to be making for them. There were a lot of great moments where, seriously, they did almost win that map. They just made a couple of difficult calls in difficult places that if it wasn't even for Kex catching them on those rotations and enabling them to punish them on the air, they could have easily gotten away with. And so, yeah, I still think R9 has a really good chance on this map. It was so close in the last one, but still, you got to give credence to the fact that it's the only one they lost.
Got to give credit, and you love to hear what Imperial Freaky had to say about the side of Reactor 9. He knows this squad. They played together. They teamed together in some of these Challenger Cups. So he has full confidence that he thinks Reactor 9 is going to be able to take this series. But how quickly does he think he's going to take this series is going to be the question mark, because Kavika, we've had 4 series in a row all go to map 5, and it just feels like we're destined for a potential another one with how good Providence has been playing. Again, they haven't been playing on much sleep, and this is their 7th series of the day. The fatigue, it's got to be hitting them at some point.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if I would necessarily say that, because Call of Duty players, at times you would think that they would get tired. It just makes them even better. So, you know what I'm saying? Like, there would be teams that are playing all night, and a team's been waiting for them in the grand finals and be like, oh, these guys are probably super duper tired, right? You would think that, but you're wrong. These guys are just hopped up on their energy drinks. They're ready to go all the time. So 7 games or 4, they're ready to go no matter what.
We'll just have to wait and see, because, I mean, 2 hours, 3 hours, you're getting everything you can, but there's only so much G Fuel can do to, I think, bring you on through it. And you're coming in with the strats. But again, it's that confidence from Rispy that we saw earlier on in the interview. He's feeling so good, thinking that he can already taste that grand finals and going up against Imperial, who look like they were the potential juggernaut. Unfortunately, they showed that they can bleed on certain maps, and I mean, they barely came away with that series, and I do mean barely. 1 point in 1 round to be able to win it. So this is truly a losers finals, where if you go to grands, it really is a toss-up at this point.
I really do agree, and it's super huge that Imperial actually did win that, because it'll give them an advantage going in. But yeah, Graph, it does appear that we are having a little bit of an extended break time, so we're going to go to a very, very quick break, emphasis on the quick. So, ladies and gentlemen, don't go anywhere. It's just about to get good. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. It is still Reactor 9 versus Providence here at the Lord of the Lowtiers. I am Kamika, joined by Graph the Giraffe.
And we are heading on into this map to Reactor 9. They started off a little slow on that hard point, but they got everything going. And guess what? They're keeping it flowing here on the map too, as they are just getting this bomb plant down quick as Bowser tries to come back. Maybe felt that somebody was trying to come on in and take down his friend, but no dice, that's just a stun, and already you're putting a 3v4.
Yep, great take to start things off for Reactor 9. Providence are in a little bit of a rough position to regain this, especially with Stunna going on a flank to the middle of the map, which is going to be one of something that they need in order to push in. And in he goes, killed on contact. Reactor9Esports, great way to start off this Mercado.
And that was just too easy for him after they found that first blood. They just got the bomb plant down, and Daz not doing anything special, tucking himself in a corner, finds that one player trying to come on in through middle. And again, he had his teammate helping out as well. So squeaky clean around for them. Didn't have any tacticals left in the arsenal for the side of Providence. And maybe the side of Reactor 9 can have that dead silence and the trophies earned, because that was a quick round. So the players from Providence, they might not have that in their back pocket as of yet.
Honestly, that's a really great point, Graph, that I was not totally thinking about. And in they go. I'm seeing if God Bowser's going to get any cheekiness going on here. Respy and the guys say, no way, not today. But behind him is going to be God Bowser, getting at least 1 for their troubles, trying to keep himself alive and as much of an annoyance as possible. And wow, he is really being annoying here as Respy bites the dust. Climbing up top, Stunna does not see it coming. But God Bowser, 4 kills in a row, looking to get 2 more.
And they're still trying to work towards this A site, and you know where this final player is, so just wrap the bomb to B, get it down, and finally they start to do that. And I think for God Bowser, he's kind of realizing that might be the play as he's still lingering around A site, but the bomb finally will go down and is a good spot for the side of Providence. You can spread out as much as you want. Just got to play those corners. That's going to be the biggest thing. As God, he's going to pop his dead silence. He might be able to catch one of these players out, but gives away his position early.
Yep, God Bowser, unenviable position in the extreme. And so Providence, they played that pretty well. Got some solid early kills, rotated away from where they knew their opponent was. He couldn't stop the rotational path. And so it's an easy decision to make. And Crazy Views, just giving him a little bit of a look around and taking him down. Well played by Providence to tie things up.
And that was just the aggression that came out. Weisers ends up finding 2. And that's exactly what you need out of one of your submachine guns. And he has those playmaking, potential where he is able to get those doubles and get out with his life with relative ease. And he actually gets 3 on the round. So good stuff coming outside of Providence. But Reactor, they're really starting to change it up because we did not see, I don't think, any B hits, maybe 1 in the very opening round, but I like the way that Reactor's playing this. They're really switching up their strategies, and remember, this is Providence. They got a good look at how the side of Esports was playing, and I think the side of Reactor, they realize that, and they're switching up their strats.
Yep, Reactor going for B, keeping their options open and keeping their opponents guessing, trying not to establish a pattern as much as is humanly possible. And Andy, seeing 1 cross, but there's a guy up top window just doing a little bit of jumping by. Hey, you're still there? Yeah, I'm still there. And yeah, he will eventually go down. Crazy Views, sole survivor, trying to take some long shots at this guy, but not going to make himself too apparent. Just kidding. He flies on in, takes the most aggressive shell possible, and beats him in it. So Reactor9 looking very good on the attack.
Reactor9, they're playing with confidence right now. And this is something that I don't think we have seen since that search and destroy in basically map 2. They are just starting to body you, and maybe it was in that control as well, but they are just looking so good in the search. I mean, it's quick, decisive movements. They're finding the first blood, and they're not wasting any time getting that bomb down, and I do love that from their end on the side of Providence. And I don't know what the case is again, but we might have lost a player, and I mean, it's a 2-1 advantage for the side of Reactor coming on into it, but we'll have to potentially wait to get the rest of those rounds going.
Yeah, I mean, just looking at what we were seeing so far, both teams looked really good on the attack. No one seemed to be figuring out how to easily stop them on the defensive side. Both teams just coming out really aggressive and getting defensive sides getting caught out. So what I think is going to be the difference, just based on what I've seen so far, Graph, is who can stop the aggression dead in its tracks, who can dictate the tempo first, who can get in the driver's seat and drive this one home in their favor.
It's really about taking over and grabbing that steering wheel and putting your destiny into your own hands. It's really, like you said, coming into that aggression, and you can feel at the side of Providence, they are not afraid to do it every single round either. You see Weisers, you see Rispy, you see a few other of their players making those routes and trying just to get up close and personal, but God Bowser, he's done a great job at least trying to counter it or mitigate that as much as he can, and they're a patient team. Reactor9, they know they don't have to be aggressive. They can allow that team to play into their hands, and it showed there kind of early, but that last round, that was almost picture perfect for them, as I think they got it squeaky clean in a clean 4-0.
Yep, and you point out God Bowser, he's been doing pretty good for them pretty much all series, the last series as well. He is well and truly a standout player for this squad, in my personal opinion. And so, yeah, not too surprising to see him popping off in this one once again. He's proven that he can get in some really annoying spots, be a distraction, and that was one of the things that almost ruined Providence in that one round that they almost won but lost. But either way, sometimes if you just can't do enough as a player, he's going to need a little bit of something else from someone else. But I mean, obviously they got a star-studded squad, they can get it done. And so, yeah, I'm just waiting for them to get back into this lobby.
Yeah, while we're waiting for them to get back into the lobby, I apologize everybody out there. This game just likes to crash on us quite a few times, but when we come back, we still have that search and destroy coming up right after this with a 2-1 advantage to Reactor9. Welcome back as we are loading on in to the map 2 once again. It feels like we've done this quite a few times, Comco, but just to give a quick recap, it is currently 2-1 up in favor of Reactor9, as it was that scoreline before the reset.
Look at this flank, and look at this flank fall flat. Well played by Andy. I was really starting to think Reactor 9 were going to get one over on their opponents, but unfortunately for them, that is absolutely not the case. Weiser sees one, doesn't realize it. Phenom takes him down, and just like that, 2 are down in return. Bomb has been planted, though.
And I think that just came with the fact that they could hear him stomping through the middle of the map. They're like, okay, we probably heard one of these doors just completely fly open, and pretty easy pickings for one of the players from Providence. And ooh, Stunna, he's getting a good angle as he's trying to take up one. And oh, unfortunately, you got it down to a 2v2. And Providence, they get it tied up. And great reads from them, though. They were feeling pretty good coming into that one.
Yeah, well played by Recipe again. Like he said, he's got that tempo down, taking them both down within short succession of each other. Quick tempo for that killing spree. But yeah, they do drop back up 2-2 now. Both teams struggling on the defense, but on the opposite of that, they're both doing really good on the attack graph.
I mean, that nobody's been able to stop each other when it comes to those moments, but Providence, it feels like maybe that map reset has given them a little bit of new life as trophies will come out, but so do all the nades. And look at this. Is this going to be Daz? Is he going to try to challenge out this one player? They're taking it slow, but oh, Rispy just shoots through the door and he will find 2 again. Just like that. It's a 1v4 for the side of Stunna, and I mean, this is a tough position for anybody.
Yeah, Stunna's looking pretty rough for wear up top there, and Recipe putting them to bed as Providence now take 1 point clean of their opponents. They are now up 3-2 on aggregate.
And I think this reset, somebody from the side of Providence was like, guys, we're playing too scared. We're not playing confidently enough. And guess what? Rispy comes out with 5 straight kills, and that's exactly what you want out of this squad. Is, like you said, they take the lead. It's now a 3-2 in favor of Providence. God Bowser, fortunately, hasn't been able to find those kills, and maybe the change up in strats for Reactor 9 it isn't really paying off as much as they would like, but guess who's changing it up now? It's the side of Providence.
Yeah, if confidence were a person, his name would be Rispy, 100%. I mean, judging from that interview as well, Providence not feeling confident enough to just fly right on to be there, at least measuring their confidence with a level of reality checking. Rispy, slowly and carefully, taking control over the bomb site, taking control over the window, and making sure that his teammate can just dive behind the bomb site and go for that take. Unfortunately, that's not how it went, though, as God Bowser goes and kills the both of them, looking for a third, can't quite get the third. 2v1 still, as Phenom is still trying to find an angle in.
And yeah, he doesn't have dead silence either, so a difficult spot to try to find this kill is, I mean, I thought God Bowser had that third one because he was so ready for it. But the bomb is still down in a very difficult position. And if you are Providence, I mean, Phenom, he can just kind of hold this angle if he wants it. Oh, he actually gets him on the cross. So beautiful stuff. And now he gets it into the 1v1.
Yep, and Andy is a little bit too nervous to go for this bomb plant. He knows what could happen to him if he does. And so Phenom rotating, and Andy rotating right on back. I guess it's going to be good timing for him in the end. It all works out as Providence going to catch him by surprise. They haven't lost a single round since the restart, so they are now, what is that, 4-2? Yes, math is good. 4-2.
4-2 indeed. Like you said, the math is good for you, my man. And Providence, it just seems like they have gotten new life breathed into them as they are just stomping around Rispy and Andy, 6-1. I mean, it's just those 2 players from their squad. I mean, Wisers and Crazies hasn't really done much.
Yeah, no one else even needs to get kills here, dude. It's the Rispy and Andy show. Only players you need. And they're going to overload the trophy systems, trying to get them off, but Rispy runs right on through it, taking minimal damage at best, and does get a first blood over onto Stunna, which is a good start. Getting a little bit run up on here, though, Andy, and he knows exactly where one of them is, trying to keep his streak going, but he's a little bit surrounded. He's about to get pounded. Great site take for Reactor 9.
And Wisers, yeah, this is a tough spot. And, ooh, he might have gotten the stick, and not quite as... The guy's just going to stretch out the bomb. That's going to be Daz. And he was the one player who had a great start of this map. I think he was starting off 4-2 and now 0-3. Hasn't quite been able to get that footing back underneath him. Needs to start putting on some solid hiking boots, but all you need to do if you're Reactor 9 is just kind of play your life. You don't need to do too much. Throw some shoulder checks, and Daz finally gets his first kill back after the reset.
Yeah, finally stopping the bleeding here is going to be Reactor 9. Again, hadn't won a single round since the reset. That has now changed. Now they're only 1 round behind their opponents. It's 4-3 right now for those of you guys that are having a hard time keeping up. I don't blame you for that. But yeah, that's round number 7, and they just won the first round of the second half.
And maybe starting to close that gap, because I felt like if that map wasn't reset, Reactor 9 had all the momentum. They just looked so good when it came to their attacks. And now they find themselves on a defense and desperately needing one at that. But again, look who only found the kills for Providence. It's still Rispy and Andy. They're still looking for a few more, but Daz, he sees all the pressure, but Phenom with a beautiful nade as they're playing off of each other well.
Yep, and the push for Providence is going to be stopped dead in its tracks. It can be really annoying to try and get out of here, especially when you used all your util. Wiser's wisely keeping one of his grenades, but it's not going to amount to much, and so Providence is running a little bit low on options, maybe trying to go for a rotation through the middle of the map. God, Bowser is going to be one watching that, but Stunna, unfortunately, making himself a little bit too obvious of a target and getting shot up once again. So time is running out for a decision. Providence can either try to cut their losses and go to the middle of the map, or hope that Daz is not paying attention and get an easy kill on him. Both don't seem likely.
Phenom, what a good spot, too, because Daz immediately got challenged, and that's the overlook you want from the side of Reactor. And guess what? You're back up into a 3v2, now a 1v3, and if you are Andy, this is a very difficult situation for him, and he might catch out God. Bowser kind of sleeping here, but doesn't seem to be the case. Nobody giving him anything for free, as they don't need to challenge. They know the bomb's not going down. This is an easy round for Reactor.
Yep, nothing Andy can really do here, unfortunately for him. He's just getting out-intelled, outplayed. Is going to be able to blast Daz at least one time, but players for Reactor 9, they're running for the hills. They do not want to give him any opportunity for a last-minute win. And wisely so. Reactor 9 winning yet another round with their brains instead of their bronze.
And potentially another round 11 could be coming our way. It's tied up at 4 rounds apiece. Again, you're relying on Andy. You're relying on Rispy to find those kills. And Andy has 6 non-traded kills, but so does Phenom. So doing his job as well and being that overlooked player, the guardian angel for Daz in that last round, allowed him to at least find 1 or 2 kills. And now they're going back to A, but there is nobody home. Wow. They should be able to get this one down for free.
Yeah, but do they know what they have, or are they going to take so long that Providence gets the wraparound on them? That is the real question in my mind. It seems that they're figuring it out, and Daz is about to go to the plant spot and start the plant, you would think? Nope. Apparently they're getting a cruise missile called in on him, and they are delaying the push. Great job. No? Yeah. I was wondering. It was just a really long cruise missile.
And yeah, just trying to delay it. Now the side of Providence, they've kind of got him trapped on him, but there's a lot of headies, and guess what? You have Stunna to deal with, but it will be a nade coming through, so Wisers, this could be the chance for him to go big, but unfortunately now it's a 1v3. God, Bowser still alive, and he's still kicking, and this should be another round for Reactor. Wisers, since the break, 0-4. He needs to find a kill to get back onto the board, because you do not want to be going James Bond here in the second half of this map.
Yeah, hope not. Here's one over the top. Unfortunately, just too much going on. Can't quite react to it. And just like that, Reactor 9 do reinstate their lead. They are now 1 point away from winning the Search and Destroy.
When it's coming down, it's a 5-4 as they've taken, what was it now? 3 straight as well. So it just feels like they are going back and forth against each other. But I think the side of Reactor 9, they said, hey, we have seen through your smoke and mirrors, and they know what Providence was throwing at them. The aggression not starting to pay off anymore. And like you said, it was the team who's able to stop that aggression from the other side. And it seems like Reactor's starting to get that read.
Yep, Reactor trying to be that team that's aggressive a little bit, getting one, namely Daz, up in their opponent's home third, but they're going to be even more aggressive, catching him out in that Stunna. Oh my goodness, big kill for him there. If he didn't win that, that would have been so much harder for them to win. And now it leaves just Andy alone against the world, minus Daz, and with a chance to win the Search and Destroy.
This allows yourself to go 2-0 up in the series. Andy, can you at least extend it to around 11? But yeah, 50 seconds left. They're not going to give you anything. They're just going to keep poking out their head, and he doesn't have a stun or nade to use. So if you're the side of Reactor, you don't need to do anything fancy. You just play your life. Just get the information as the bomb is down in probably the toughest spot on the map. And guess what? God Bowser's even holding the deep flank to make sure that he is not sneaking on through. 30 seconds left. But, oh, Bowser, oh my goodness. Andy got the read. Unfortunately, not the timing. As Reactor 9, they will close out that map too. And now they go 2-0 up in the series.
Yep, dangerously close to 3-0 territory here as R9 are going into their best map that I've seen them play all day. Let's not forget just how good they did up against Kex and all those guys from Imperial on this map. Literal 3-0. And so you do have to be a little bit worried about Providence's chances, but I mean, this is a map where I've seen more comebacks on than any other map, just in my own personal experience.
And Hotel is definitely one of those maps for sure, as you can see the maps coming down the line. And if you are Reactor 9, close it out here. Close it out on the Hotel. This is your map pick. You looked good against Imperial, like you pointed out, Kamika. Do not allow it to go to that Mercado where it kind of rotations. It can get a little spicy at times, and you just don't want to give that momentum at all, Providence, because they will grip it with both hands and they will ride it to the finish line. But Kamika, this is kind of a different Providence from what we saw in previous series. And I don't know. Hey, call me a liar, but I think they might be running out of gas here.
It's possible that after 7 series, they could be running a little bit low on gas, especially if they have dried up all their energy drinks. But yeah, I still think that going into this map, I'm feeling a little conflicted on where I stand on it. Obviously, Reactor 9 just had the most amazing map we could have possibly expected to have on this map in the winners finals. They literally 3-0'd their opponents. They looked so dang good on it. But the other team, they just had a really good last series on it as well. And this is a map where I typically see teams that are a little bit behind in the series start to come back. This is where I've seen more series, have reverse sweeps from on a Hotel control than any other map. So I'm keeping both those things in mind, Graph.
And you haven't seen any other maps. I saw we had one Expo today. I think the rest has simply been all Hotel and maybe one other El Asilo. But like you said, Providence, they're no slouch on this one as well, because in that loser semis, they took it in a 3-0 against Chaos. So this is really, like you said, you're conflicted on who you want to be able to get that advantage. If you are the side of Reactor 9, close it out in a 3-0. Don't give any sliver of hope towards this team, because if you do, they will be able to have that momentum again. And guess what? You do not want to see a confident Rispy going on into a map 4.
Yeah, I mean, he is confidence personified, like we said. And in his interview, he was very adamant that his confidence will be key to his success. Just take the challenge like you know you're going to win, and then you'll win it. That's the advice that he gave when I asked how people can ace like him. And so, yeah, unfortunately, they were a little bit lacking in an ace from Rispy in that one. Probably could have turned something around, but I mean, you shouldn't be dependent upon to get an ace literally all the time. Still a great clip. If you guys haven't seen it, probably floating around on Twitter somewhere. But we are still waiting for them to get this Hotel control up and running. But yeah, Graph, any last thoughts before we go to a break?
No, I don't think so, but I want to give a big shout out to our sponsors once again, because they are the ones who help make this tournament all happen for the Lord of Lowtiers. It's just been an incredible journey, I think, for everybody here. So let's give a big shout out to, once again, it's going to be Scars Esports, Nobility Rising, Rally Esports, Underplayed, Arise GG, Galaxy Esports, and then not to mention Cerberus Esports. Without them, this tournament would not have been able to happen. They're just showing the support, and especially to all the viewers out there coming out, supporting your friends, family, brothers, sisters, whatever the case may be. You guys really make it all happen, and it's truly well worthwhile being able to commentate something like this.
Yeah, absolutely. The pleasure is felt by me as well. And so, yeah, ladies and gentlemen, while we get this Hotel nice and ready to go, we're going to go to a quick break. Emphasis on the quick. I've not lied to you on these breaks, and we'll be back as soon as humanly possible.
welcome back. And my goodness, Kamakai, he is not a liar at all. The emphasis on the quick is truly coming on through for this man as we are back just after 60 seconds and coming on into this map 3 hotel. Both of these two teams are coming off of a hot 3-0 from their previous series. It's just a matter of who's going to get that edge. And right now, it feels like Phenom, this guy is hitting doubles and shots, wall bangs, everything you need from your AR to be able to close out a series.
Yeah, like I said, coming into this, Phenom is one of those guys you have to watch out for the side of Reactor, but God Bowser obviously being another one. Okay, I don't quite know what to say about that, but God Bowser, well played, dude. Clearing house, and man, oh man, that is painful for Providence.
Painful is an understatement because that is just a gut wrench. That's a knife to the side. Is look at the iron grip defense that Reactor9 has set up perfectly. You have one player in number 5. That's going to be God Bowser pushed all the way up, and oh, he will get caught out. So that's a few members dead, and look. Like that, they ended up overcommitting, but wow, a shot by Stunna from range. He catches the first player trying to cross.
Yep, and still some hope in here despite the rough start here for Providence, but Rispy going down is going to complicate that a little bit. Nobody on B, nobody on A, still technically not a single tick in their favor. And so Reactor9 looking pretty good to shut this one down. If I were Daz, I would definitely be making this shell, especially with how good he's been doing, trying to deny even a singular tick to his opponents. Stunna flying in, not able to deny the tick, but can still manage to shut his opponents down right here, right now.
You don't need to do anything too crazy. Just make sure you are not throwing away too many lives, as that should be the final push, and the A site should be secured. As you see, Phenom, he's been holding down these backside spawns for quite some time, but a quick transition from Rispy, and he realizes there's probably one player sitting in this area, but Phenom, again, still being annoying. Rispy will cut down God Bowser, who is lingering on the backside steps, and he's going to get a few good reads and toss out some stuns, but still, you are just delaying the time if you're a Reactor. You don't even need to find a kill. You just need to let them know that you are still in that area.
Yeah, basically all you have to do as Reactor9 right now is trade out effectively. They kill one of you, you kill one of them, and then they won't be able to take B fast enough before you're respawning and back on the objective, trading out evenly once again. And so, God Bowser trying to do exactly that, does exactly that. Still got enemies up inside of top bedroom, sees one, but is going to get a little bit taken down. Closest opponent is going to be Phenom, and so he will not be able to stop them before they get on the objective. They went straight to it. Does find one, though. Coming up along the side to a stunned player. Will be Crazy Views, taking down one, taking down two, flipping out the spawns. And just like that, Daz is their one last good line of defense against this Providence B take.
A moment. Oh no, not again! Oh, that's just unfortunate for Daz. You cannot get worse Call of Duty timing in that moment, but guess who? It's Bowser working his way through top catwalk, and he goes on in, finds another, and that's all the players cleared out except for Crazy, and he might be the only one to step up for the side of Providence to have a chance here on this attack. As there's only 5 seconds left, he feels forced to hop on in. No respawns remaining. He will immediately go down, and that should be the round for the side of Reactor.
Should be indeed, and it is. Reactor9 looking to finish this one up just like they did the last one, looking solid on the defensive side, almost completely stopping Providence from getting a singular tick. But, I mean, A is just, you expect that one to go by the wayside, but R9, they did not let a single tick go down on B, and so that's what really matters here, Graf.
And A is one of those points where it's kind of like Berlin control, right? In Cold War, it just, there's always that one point where it gets capped up 90-95% of the time, and that's going to be A on the hotel. And now the side of Reactor, they had a good job, just even though they kind of got taken down and put into these 1v3 situations, that one player was so patient. He made sure he struck at the right time and at least gave his teammates a chance to get into a good position to retake some of these hills.
Yep, Crazy just gonna get absolutely surrounded. Not too much of a chance being stuck prone back there, but Rispy, he's on a 2 streak, looking to see if he can make it 3. But Phenom sees him just around the corner. Unfortunate for Rispy as he's sent packing once again. Reactor9 seeing what they can get in terms of real estate for free, as their opponents are trying to take some control over the middle of the map. They're looking to take some control over their opponent's spawn and get a good flank, easy take onto the next objective, but Andy has other ideas. Not going to end up being very meaningful, though.
Yeah, as they might be able to hold this one off. for a second, but oh my goodness, Rispy goes big as Stunna, though. He puts the final nail in the coffin at that A site. But look who's already worked his way to the backside spot, and this is a big play for the side of Daz. Can he find any of these players kind of lurking still? And he will get that first one into Rispy. And now you have 2 players pushed up. Make it 3 on the other side. They've completely flipped this map on their head. So Providence, you have 3 players over towards their top bedroom, and you find 2 kills, and they should be able to lock it down. Reactor, you have a lot to get done.
Yeah, but a lot of time to do it, which is the good news for them. Unfortunately, they've got half their team basically stuck away from them. As you can see, Stunna is going to get caught out. Phenom a little bit isolated from the rest of his teammates. God Bowser will finally come to his aid and take down Rispy, so they will have a corridor open towards the top of the map where they can resupply themselves. But that's been opened up for, as you can see, Rispy as well, respawning in here. Daz will fry him, though, and so the time has come for Reactor9 to get on the objective and maybe get back off of it, is what Weiser is saying to them as they get absolutely slaughtered.
And you just need to take down players in that bedroom area because they have not done any of it. And there's so many angles that you have to cover, especially if there's 2 to 3 players in that position. But if you're a Reactor, do you try to maybe play for kills a little bit more, start to go hunting? Unfortunately, they don't have the map position. I've never been a fan of trying to push out the backside spawn because you don't really gain much unless if you have control of that bedroom, which they absolutely do not. Ooh, they might actually now, because number 1, it's going to be Andy in position. He's the only one who's maybe able to stop this B cap to come through.
And maybe Weiser's as well. He's on a 4 streak, so he's starting to heat up a little bit. Weiser does take down 1, but he's basically at the mercy of God Bowser from shooting, smiting him down from on high. Phenom, unfortunately, running out of bullets there, and God Bowser still alive and kicking, smiting yet another one who's trying to stop him from doing his thing. And Crazy gonna have the final word on that one. They do, I don't believe they actually got that full tick, unless I am mistaken. And so, yeah, they might actually get stopped dead exactly where Providence is.
Oh, that's going to be such a heartbreak. You just need one player to just step a foot on in, and they cannot do it. Is one player going to dolphin dive on out? I'm curious. And they might try to do it. No, they're just going to chalk this one up. It's going to go to the defense. Providence, they clutch up as well.
Again, it is so close, the tick there, that I'm not positive if they got it or not. And I'm sure that obviously the players know, but Providence, that was a really good hold, all things considered. At least didn't lose the attack like their opponents did, so they actually have a round on the board. This is already better than their most previous opponent on this map up against these guys. And so, yeah, they're going to take the learning from their last attack, make sure that they don't just get completely obliterated on that B hit. I'll be very shocked if they did that again, and I'm sure that they're going to go for their steady Eddie A hit.
I don't know. They could switch this one up and maybe feel a little cheeky off to start, but nope, you are right, Providence. They're going to that standard A side, trying to take over middle of the map, and it's going to be number 7. Daz has a lot of players in front of him, and I don't know if he really wants to go out and challenge any of these guys, as he does happen to get one, as long as he's just delaying it. And Stunna finds another one in the middle, so they have a chance to maybe get a retake here. God Bowser's pushed the pace and the pressure. This guy has been flying across the map. It's simply been the submachine guns in God Bowser and Rispy is who can find those moments to allow his teammates to get the edge, and it will be Andy that time taking the gunfight. Weisers will find another one. This should be the A site secured.
Should be, but they're going to be in a little bit of a rough spot afterwards if they do manage to get it, and it does look like Andy is going to be able to get it done. Another one flying in, killing God Bowser, huge. And so, yeah, what Reactor9 did do there is buy themselves enough time to get in some good spawn flip positions. As you can see, Stunna is in the block spot, forcing people like Andy to go all the way through the top of the map. It makes it very predictable for where Reactor9 is going to be positioning. It's going to be good positioning. However, it doesn't seem that they're ready for the full frontal assault. So much time setting up just to have it dashed all away. The stack's coming in, can't turn in time for Weisers. And yes, here they come. The stack is about to begin, and Providence might just win this attacking side.
They should be able to win this attacking side. They've basically had a clean kill feed, but unfortunately there's no trophies on the hill and they didn't stack it. So now only 2 ticks come through. You're not up in lives, but look, it felt like the side of Providence had their chance, and Andy quietly having a good game as well. 13 and 8. Hasn't been too loud on this map, has found a pretty penny in a 2 and 3 piece, but not much more. But Reactor, I don't know how they held on to that, because Providence, if they stacked it, it probably would have been over.
I do agree that it probably would have been over if they stacked it, because not only would they have capped it faster, but Reactor9 would have had to take a much more aggressive stance, and they pretty much would have had to fly in there to get there in time. But I get Providence want to play it conservatively just in case something bad happens, like a casual nade throw, which is exactly what happened, so I completely get it. But, I mean, I can also see the other side as well. Either way, Reactor9 are finding themselves in a position where they are only down by a singular tick on this objective, and Daz and the crew are in firm control over the site. They would like to have bedroom control, but they're fine with what they have.
Yeah, and it's just all about having this positioning, and God, Bowser, he gets taken out. That's a massive one for Andy, as he decides to put away the AR and pulls out the submachine gun, and now they might try this hit fully on him, but oh, he lands right into the grenade that Daz had left at the feet of the entrances. Oh my goodness, but Andy, he finds another one, not able to find that kill, but like you said, Weiser's on this backside flank. Oh, doesn't amount to much, and that is a clean feed. Reactor should be able to get this round.
Yeah, they should indeed. They're going right up in their spawn to try and delay them as much as is humanly possible. Most of the people are going to be here. Great delaying tactics, and unfortunately, Weiser's does nade Recipe as well, so that's one more person you're not going to be able to have touch the hill. Crazy View is going to have to fly in by the seat of his pants if he wants this. Does get a solid kill onto one, and trying to get in a position where he can contest it from. Enemy still on the objective, flies right on in, gets the better of him as well. Got to worry about the guy bottom bed, and Bowser is there, does take down one, but there's another on the objective. Crazy Views now knows exactly where he is, and Weiser's watching his exit. No, he's not watching his exit, and so he will get taken off the objective. Weiser still stuck, trying anything, but nothing going to be landing, as Reactor9 will still be winning that defensive side.
And God, Bowser came out with a triple right at the end of that round, and he finds himself, I think he got all 6. So, oh my good, look at the shots from this young man as he makes it look too easy. And for the side of Providence, this is your tournament on the line. It is match point for the side of Reactor9 and punch their ticket back for a rematch against the side of Imperial. But if you're Providence, I mean, if you lose here, going all the way from losers round 1, it would be a gut-wrenching blow to them. Do they have enough to at least get it to a map 4?
Stunna looking to stop their hopes dead in their tracks. Does get the both of them. Stunna absolutely eviscerating that B hold, and this is exactly what you want for a reactor attack. This is going to be having Providence reeling in the extreme. Weiser's coming around the back, and luckily for him, a lot of them are nice, close, and personal, and another player just runs right into him, doesn't realize it. He's going to fly in, though, low ammo with the Vaznev. Teammate takes down the rest, but already a lot of great damage being done early on from Reactor9. 2 ticks on B without much even invested.
It's tough that you don't come away with a full cap, but like you said, the damage has been done. 2 ticks on the board, and Weisers was doing everything he could to deny that tick, which he did. And now Daz, he's already thinking like, hey, I could potentially hop back onto this point or go hunting for this player. And look at that, they're already stacking this hill. As oh my goodness, number 7, I'm not sure if he realizes as the shots are coming through, and they're still trying to hold on. As Daz, can he stay alive for a little bit longer? No, he cannot. And Phenom, not much he can do as he gets backed on down. Again, you are just a second away.
The fact that he's able to live and kill Weiser there is pretty crazy as well. Andy trying to deal with 2 people at the same time, pretty hard thing to do, but he does get at least one on the way out, slowing the cap on A. But that does more benefit Reactor. The longer they can make this game go, the more likely they're able to make the most out of this cruise missile that God Bowser has and make a play towards B. And on they go. B is still pretty much halfway towards that final tick. If they're able to get A, it's not looking good for Providence. They have to stake a lot on this, but it's all going wrong as Reactor9 have absolutely everything covered. The rotation is coming out from Daz, maybe a bit premature on that one, but still, it's looking good.
It's looking good for sure as they are finding kills in the middle of the map. So they're just keeping one player maybe towards that A site. But look at number 2 who's coming in on that quick flank. It's going to be Weisers once again. Can he find a few more? He's just causing so many problems. Weisers with the slide shell. Oh, and he almost had another one. But if you are Bowser, you need to hop on into this site and just get that tick on the board if you are the side of Reactor, as it will be Daz finds 1 and the A site will come through. But like you said, it's still 2.5 ticks basically on that B site.
Yeah, and Providence have still not managed to clear that one off. They're trying to get control of her bedroom at the expense of that, which makes a lot of sense. And they're going to have someone go on now, but the flank is completely and utterly wide open. Providence, are they going to flip the map on them? It looks like the answer to that is going to be yes. But Rispy's got plans for the middle of the map. He's thinking that maybe he can find a player out here. Wiser's in the meantime cleaning out their spawn, or at least so he thinks, as God Bowser is still there. 40 seconds remaining to get this tick. Phenom can literally smell the objective right now, and he's going to hop in.
And I actually love this call because you know that they're playing your side is, oh my goodness, crazy views with 3. My God, did he just save Providence in that moment? What a nasty triple. The man just smoked 3 players into basically what feels like it could be a map 4 coming up.
That is unreal. Reactor so close to the win right there. Probably saving a cruise missile now just to where they go into this final round and they still have a get out of jail free card basically.
Oh.
So still a good time to be Reactor 9 right now, but still that's going to feel a little bit bad. You were so close to victory. However, it's going to be held away from you for just a little bit longer.
You gotta be kidding me, right? Like crazy views. He had to pull off a miraculous triple to even have a chance for his teammates to stay on in. And it started with that guy that he jumped out of top bedroom, turns to the guy trying to go lower, and then snaps onto the guy right on the top of the stairs. You cannot ask for much more than that. And we have the round 5, but like you said, there's still a glide bomb in the back pocket for the side of Reactor, and they should have the defense.
Yeah, a glide bomb is basically what sent them here. Maybe it's what can get them out of here. If you know, you know. But ladies and gentlemen, Reactor 9 on the final defense, exactly where you want to be. But Providence playing no games, going straight to A and trying to do this one by the book.
I'm trying to do it by the book. Is it's a matter of, can you, oh my goodness, talk about a teammate coming on in. That one's not how you drawed it up. But still, you just get this A tick relatively fast in Reactor. All you need to do is hold on to this B site for 2 minutes and probably 15 seconds, and that's all they need to go back and close this series out in a 3-0. But we kind of expected this. Both of these two teams so good at hotel control. It's a toss-up to who's going to finally take this map.
Bowser trying to say it's going to be me as he catches Rispy on the way out. Other 2 Providence players have made their way towards their opponent's spawn, but that's pretty much to be expected. Reactor 9 is expecting this 100%. They're going to be having Stunno watching that backside, and he's been doing a pretty dang good job of it. Any extension that Providence is going to be making is going to have to be challenged for by Reactor 9. Just great positioning held by them on all counts. And still, even if things go wrong, God Bowser has the cruise.
God Bowser's put himself in a really good spot, and Stunna, he's still holding on the backside flank, and he's going to back all the way up. But look who's sitting for him. It's Rispy. I'm not even sure when he got to that position, but
no.
this might be the play.
Oh, no.
It's Wiser's. He goes big. God Bowser, can he clear this player? And oh, that is the backside spawn secured, and now all you have to do is worry about the front. And are they investing the glide? Doesn't even need it. God Bowser, he says, just give me the Vaz, give me the tack, and I'll take care of the rest.
Yeah, they do manage to get him, but God Bowser does get taken down by crazy views. Providence is still ready for this counterattack, but Stunna weakening it slightly. Great shots from Crazy, almost so close, but it appears that Reactor 9 are going to be sort of stabilizing the situation here on B.
And they need to stabilize because that got a little bit dicey. God Bowser goes down, and I don't like how Daz was kind of peeking that angle. Puts yourself extremely exposed, but Phenom, he's the player that we were hyping up after that map too, as he tends to hit a lot of these shots when needed, and oh, it's the glide bomb, and can that send, like you said, Reactor to the grand finals? And it just might.
It might. Providence does still have at least one or two good hits left in them, depending on how fast they do them. God Bowser and the guys in the middle of the map, that cruise missile, absolutely huge. Phenom also behind them as well, gonna know exactly where Crazy Views is and ready to turn around and shoot him at a moment's notice. Phenom up top, and he completely destroys him though, and with that, the play to be is alive and kicking as he's gonna be kicking Stunna off that head glitch. Coming through the middle of the map will be Daz, finds one, stunned up and ready to shoot Crazy potentially, but yeah, he will get eventually pinched out, and without the secondary tick going their way, but not if Andy has anything to say about it. Just too many great positions, too many great trade out spots coming out from Reactor.
And God, Bowser is 41 and 27. And he is like, guys, let's just pray to God. Close out this map as one more player tries to go big. And that is it. That should be done and dusted. And it's the side of Reactor 9 going up to the grand finals for a rematch against Imperial. You couldn't draw it up any better than this.
Yeah, so it looks like we're going to get a little bit of a rematch from the winners finals, and let's not forget just how good that one was. R9, they had some moments where they looked a little bit vulnerable, but still the 3-0, it's undeniable. They looked freaking good in the series, even on maps they struggled with earlier in the tournament.
And you just, oh my God, I mean, 37 non-traded kills. That's just something you cannot recreate. You cannot make up. And that's a stat and a half. Bowser, he's like, let's go, baby. Let's bring it on home, as they have at least secured themselves $700. You can take a look at the series and how it went down: a 250 to 196, 6-4, 3-2. Reactor 9, nothing phased them, even when they lost a close map 4 and map 5 in the winners round. The losers finals, they showed up.
Yeah, they did. And they will, like we said, be getting at least something out of this whole ordeal. They unfortunately are going to be sending our Cinderella story of Providence home with nothing. But, I mean, hey, it was still a good run from them. They proved a lot of people wrong when they thought they were going to lose pretty early on after they got knocked down to the losers bracket. 7 series, 1, 2 loss. It's still a pretty good record coming out of this for Providence. But unfortunately, close isn't good enough, and we have to bid them farewell as we go to this grand finals between Imperial and R9.
And you cannot preach about how good Providence was that entire tournament. Yeah, you had 7 series you had to go through, and you get a top 3 placement. Granted, you get no cash, but you can hold your heads held high, knowing that you fought for every single series. And unfortunately, I think they just were getting tired. They were getting gassed. And when you play 4 series to 7 series, that makes a difference. And now it's going to be the 4 series for Imperial, the 5th for the side of Reactor 9. And really, it's going to be an interesting one to see.
Yep, and I do believe we are going to be hearing from one of the Reactor 9 players really soon, ladies and gentlemen, so don't go anywhere. Yes, here he is, the man I wanted to talk to above anybody else. God Bowser, how you doing, dude?
I'm doing good, gentlemen. How are you?
Doing fantastic. And so, first of all, congratulations on making it back to the grand finals. Question on everybody's mind is, how are you feeling going into this grand finals up against this team that just beat you?
We're feeling pretty good. I'm not gonna lie, the first series, we honestly trolled both hardpoints, and then they got a lucky glide. We had 2 trophies down, and this game just fucking sucks, honestly. Other than that, we honestly should have won 3-1 if not 3-0. So I'm hoping we come out hot in this grand finals.
I can tell you are revving up for this grands. You want a rematch against Imperial. You felt like you got cheated out of that entire series, but either way, you guys look so good coming on in to that losers finals. You 3-0'd Providence, and I mean, you guys just were not phased at all. It feels like you guys had that momentum. I mean, is there anything you want to say to the side of Imperial or even the fans out there coming up for this grand finals?
Honestly, fuck, I don't know. Shit, I don't even know, honestly. I'm honestly so locked right now. Like, I don't even know what to say, but I'm not fucking losing this shit. As long as my PCs stop skipping, I'm dropping 40 again.
Ooh. Well, fair enough. Those are wise words coming out from God Bowser here. We'll see you in the grand finals, dude, and we'll be wishing you all the best there. Anything you want to say on the way out?
No, nothing. Good luck to the team we play. I'm fucking coming for you guys.
Ooh, he's coming for you guys. You heard it here first. It's on in the grand finals. And ladies and gentlemen, this is something that you're not going to want to be missing out on. Currently setting up right now, but yeah, we've got a little bit of time before that. Graf, anything you want to say before we go into this little break?
I mean, hey, we get a 3-0 in a series. It's about time. It feels like the stream was going to go on forever on these map 5s, but for the grand finals, We just want a close one. Go down to the wire. We want to see everybody putting everything on the line. And you heard it from God Bowser. The guy is revved up, locked and loaded. So you can really expect anything coming in from this series. As Imperial going up against Reactor 9, the team they sent down to the losers bracket, coming up really soon.
Yep.